Hey everyone, I'm Danny with KickyPolyAtheist.com, and this video is going to be about basically how to say no to a first kiss and the boundaries around that, and just how things unfold between guys and girls just based on our society. I'm doing 100 videos in 100 days, and thanks for sticking with me on this. I'm doing it with as little editing as possible so that they actually ship, because last time I got caught up in all the editing. So it's okay. So a first kiss that someone says no to. Um, Basically, I had a friend tell me a story where she was on a date and this guy, he kept trying to kiss her and he kept saying, or she kept saying no, but he kept doing it. And she was reflecting later, could she have done something differently? Could she have done better? Or was this guy just a creep? And it's tricky because half of this is a boundary problem, right? How do you basically communicate your boundaries and withhold or uphold your boundaries? The other half is, I believe, a bit of a kind of society problem, and I want to talk about both of those things. So let's start with the boundary. So he was trying to kiss her, and she said no. She said no, I don't want that. And she said like things like, I don't understand why you think I want that, but I don't want that. And he would say okay, and then give it another 15, 20 minutes, and he would try it again. Um, and clearly he's crossing a boundary, right? From her point of view, clearly he's crossing a boundary. Um, so one of the things that she can do or should do is when you state your boundary, it should also come with a consequence, okay? And it doesn't have to be harsh. It's just, hey, this is my boundary. If you cross my boundary, this is what I'm going to do. And you're focusing on yourself. It's not a threat to the other person. It's, here's what I'm going to do. So, for example, she could say, hey, I don't want to kiss you. If you do it again, I'm going to leave. And maybe we could try this some other time, if that's what she wants to say, if she's up for trying it another time. Or she can just say, hey, if you kiss me again, I'm just going to leave. Or, hey, if you try to kiss me again, I'm just going to go back to the party. Like if you were like slightly away with somebody and just go back to the party. Like there's so many consequences there you could say. But the consequence is, here are the actions I'm going to take. I'm letting you know right now, if you do this thing, these are the actions I'm going to take. And you focus on you focus on yourself. You don't say, hey, if you try to kiss me again, I'm going to take your photo and put it on Facebook and tell everyone you're a creep. Right? That's the opposite of focusing on yourself. So rather than threaten, stay in control, right? Now, I want to take this one step further and talk about just kind of guys and girls and how our society kind of functions. Guys are expected to escalate relationships. Um, I know it's not all guys. I know it's not all relationships, but it's pretty consistent. If a guy and a girl are together, odds are, if the guy's not escalating the relationship will never escalate. And I can tell you this from a lot of my own relationships, because I'm the kind of guy who doesn't escalate. And I've had many conversations with women 2 years later where they said, oh, they were so interested in me. And I was so interested in them, but I never escalated. So they just assumed I wasn't into them. So it's like they almost need a guy to escalate so that they know that he's interested, which is kind of ridiculous. And at the same time, guys are put in between a rock and a hard place where if they escalate and she doesn't want it, then she could get really offended. And she could say really mean things. She could do really mean things when really he was just, hey, I think you're cute, right? But if they don't escalate, the relationship will never go anywhere. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And women are also stuck between a rock and a hard place because there's a lot of societal pressure for them not to escalate and look like a slut or something like that, which I think is also ridiculous. So getting all the way back to it now, what if my friend, what if she could tell this guy things that would just let all that craziness kind of in his head, all that turbulence just go away? So what if she said something like, hey, I don't want you to kiss me right now. It's too soon. I haven't decided if I want to go in this direction or not, right? If you kiss me again, I'm going to leave. We could try this again some other day. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. And that's the part I wanted to share. That last line, if she just says, if I change my mind, I'll let you know. When I'm ready, I'll let you know. That little bit will take all the turbulence in his head where it's like, what should I do? I like her, but I don't know if I'm supposed to escalate. I don't know if she wants to. I'm trying to read her body language. Like he's trying to figure out what to do. You just let him just drop it all. He no longer has to worry about it. He can breathe a sigh of relief and get back to just connecting. So I want to say, number one, give your boundary. You got to state it. Number two, there has to be a consequence. And if they cross the boundary, you have to actually enact the consequence. But number three, if you just throw in that little bit, hey, when I'm ready, I'll let you know. That will get him to relax and stop playing this game that like society dropped on us where we're not allowed to communicate or we're supposed to read each other's minds or something, and just get back to the connecting. So I'm Danny, Kiki Polyatheist. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.